She didn't hug you first because she missed you. That's the fairy tale version they sell to the guys who finish last. The cold, hard reality is far more primal. When a woman initiates that first embrace, her brain is running a diagnostic scan on your entire existence. She's leaning in, placing her head in the crook of your neck, and she's inhaling. She's not smelling your cologne, she's decoding your MHC genes. Her biology is literally checking if your immune system is a match for her future. But more than that, she's checking for your vibe. If you stiffen up, if you get all jittery and awkward like a high school kid who just got his first touch, you've already lost. She feels that tension. She feels the lack of a solid frame. To a woman, a man who is uncomfortable with her touch is a man who cannot protect her from the world. Most guys blow it right here. They start talking, they make a joke to break the tension, or they try to turn it sexual too fast. That's low-value behavior. A real man, a man who understands the game, knows that this hug is her way of seeing if you are a safe harbor or just another emotional wreck drifting in the ocean. She is looking for an anchor, someone who doesn't move when the waves hit. If you move, if you're desperate, she'll feel it instantly, and the attraction will die right there in your arms. Let's get one thing straight. Women are masters of sensing energy. When she pulls you in first, she is literally putting her chest against yours to feel the rhythm of your heart. It's a stress test. If your heart is racing like a rabbit, she subconsciously registers that you are intimidated by her. And let me tell you, nothing kills attraction faster for a woman than realizing she has more frame control than you do. She wants to feel a slow, steady, rhythmic beat. She wants to feel a man who is so grounded in his own skin that her presence doesn't shake his foundation. This is why the 18 to 60 demographic is so crucial. Whether she's a young girl or a mature woman, the instinct is the same. She is tired of the beta energy out there. The guys who beg for attention, the guys who are too nice, the guys who are constantly seeking validation. When she hugs you first, she's checking if you're the guy who's going to beg for more or the guy who's going to stay a rock. If you can stand there, wrap your arms around her with a firm but relaxed grip, and just be there without saying a single word, you have just communicated more value than 1,000 roses ever could. You're telling her, I've got you, and I'm not going anywhere. There's a dark side to this that most dating gurus won't tell you. A woman often hugs you first when she's at her most vulnerable, but she'll never admit it. She might have had a terrible day, or she might be feeling the weight of a world that expects her to be independent and strong all the time. She's exhausted from the boss babe act. When she reaches for you, she is dropping her shield. But here's the kicker. She's also terrified. She's terrified that you'll see that vulnerability and use it against her, or worse, that you'll be too weak to handle it. If you're the kind of guy who's tired of being the nice guy who always gets left behind, then you need to wake up. You need to understand that your strength is her only medicine. Before we go deeper into the dark side of her touch, look, if you're watching this, it's because you're tired of being the guy who doesn't get it. You're tired of the confusion. If you want to master the unspoken language of women and reclaim your masculine power, hit that subscribe button. We don't do feel-good advice here. We do the truth. Join the circle. She hugs you in private because she's ashamed of how much she needs your stillness. In that moment, her body is flooded with oxytocin, the bonding hormone. If you handle this right, she becomes chemically addicted to your presence. But if you act like a simp, asking what's wrong, or watch her body language during that first hug, is she leaning her full weight into you? If she is, that's the ultimate signal of submission. She is saying, I trust you to hold me up. This is where the USA street smart psychology comes in. Don't be a beta and let her pull away first. You decide when the hug ends. That subtle power dynamic tells her subconscious that you are the leader of the interaction. Men who are 18 to 60 often forget that leadership isn't about shouting. It's about the tension you hold in your body. If she's hugging you first, she's looking for a leader. She's looking for someone who isn't afraid of her emotions. Most guys are scared of a woman's depth, so they try to keep things light. That's weak. A high-value man leans into the depth. He stays present. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't look around the room. He is 100% focused on that moment. This creates an emotional vacuum that she will naturally want to fill with her loyalty, her affection, and her devotion. You okay? Every 5 seconds, you ruin the chemistry. You break the spell. Shut up and let the silence do the work. The reason she hugged you first, the reason men rarely understand, is that she is trying to claim you. In the world of female psychology, physical initiation is a way of marking territory. She's putting her scent on you. She's making sure that for those few seconds, you belong to her, and her alone. But the mistake most men make is thinking this means they own her now. No, it's the opposite. She is testing to see if you are worth being owned by. She wants a man who is a prize, someone other women want, but who chooses to stand still in her arms. If you understand this, you stop chasing. You stop the beta behavior of overtexting and oversharing. You realize that your value comes from your ability to be that unshakable mountain. When she pulls away, let her go. Don't chase the contact. Let the memory of your strength haunt her. That's how you get 2K views, 10K views, and $1 million life, by understanding that the strongest thing a man can do is stay calm when she's trying to find her center in him. She didn't hug you because she's nice. She hugged you because she's searching for a king. The question is, are you going to sit on the throne, or are you just another peasant in her story? Most guys think a hug is just a 5-second, "Hey, how are you?" That's amateur hour. If she hugs you first and doesn't let go, she's trying to hit the 20-second mark. See, science says it takes at least 20 seconds of skin-to-skin or close physical contact for the brain to release a massive dose of oxytocin. This isn't just a feel-good hormone, it's the trust chemical. If she's lingering, she's literally trying to drug herself with your presence. She's trying to drown out the noise of her toxic ex, her stressful job, and her own insecurities by locking into your vibration. If you pull away at 10 seconds because you're busy or uncomfortable, you're basically slapping the needle out of her arm. You're telling her that you aren't strong enough to handle her emotional weight. A high-value man stays in that lock until she decides she's had enough. You become her sanctuary. When you let the clock run, you aren't just hugging. You're rewriting her nervous system to associate peace with you. That's how you build an obsession without saying a single damn word. Where are her hands? If they're wrapped tight around your neck, she's looking for a protector, someone to pull her up from the chaos. If they're flat against your back, she's seeking stability. But if she's got her hands on your chest, between her and you, she's still got her guard up. She's testing the waters. You need to read this like a pro. Most beta guys get all handsy and start moving their hands down to her waist or lower, trying to turn it into a sexual win. Don't be that guy. That's low-tier behavior. Keep your hands firm on her mid-back or shoulders. You are the great wall. You are the immovable object. When she feels your hands are steady and not grasping for something, she realizes you don't need anything from her. That's the ultimate alpha flex. A man who doesn't need is a man who can lead. By keeping your hands disciplined, you're telling her subconscious that you are a man of high self-control. And for a woman, a man with self-control is a man she can finally trust with her heart. Sometimes a woman will hug you first, not because she's happy, but because she's about to break. This is the release valve hug. You'll feel her body go limp for a split second. That's the moment she's decided to stop performing for the world. She's tired of being the strong, independent woman the media tells her to be. She wants to be a girl again. She wants to feel small. If you start talking or trying to fix her problems right now, you're failing the test. She doesn't want your advice. She wants your gravity. She wants to feel that if the whole world collapsed, your arms would be the only thing left standing. This is why 18-year-old kids and 50-year-old CEOs alike fail at relationships. They talk too much. The raw truth is that your silence is your most powerful weapon. Let her lean. Let her breathe. Let her feel your heat. If you can handle her darkness without flinching, she will give you her light for the rest of her life. Let's get real for a second. When she hugs you first, especially in public or at a party, she's marking her territory. She's rubbing her scent onto you and taking your scent onto her. This is a primal warning to every other predator in the room. This one is mine. But there's a deeper level. She's also checking if other women have been on you. Her nose is incredibly sensitive to the pheromones of other females. If you've been around other girls, she'll smell the competition, and it'll trigger a protective instinct in her. She'll hug you tighter. She'll hold on longer. Most guys get defensive if a girl asks, "Who were you with?" But the high-value move is to let the hug do the talking. You don't need to explain yourself. Your presence, your smell, your calm. That's your resume. If she's clinging to you, it's because she knows you're a prize that other women are looking at. Never forget, a woman only fights for what she's afraid to lose. Believe it or not, sometimes she hugs you first because she senses you are struggling. Women are emotionally psychic. They can feel the cracks in your armor before you even know they're there. This hug is her way of saying, "I see you." It's an invitation for you to be vulnerable, but here's the trap. If you fall for it and start crying or complaining like a beta, the attraction might dip. The alpha response to a check-in hug is to acknowledge her care, squeeze her back with strength, and then stand tall. Show her that even when you're tired, even when the world is beating you down, you are still the king. She wants to be your soft place to land, but she needs to know the landing strip is made of concrete, not clouds. Use this moment to recharge your own battery from her feminine energy, but never let the mask of your leadership slip too far. Balance is everything. We've all been there. You just had a massive argument, she's been yelling, you've been cold, and then suddenly, she comes over and hugs you. Most guys are confused. Is she still mad? Is it over? Shut up and listen. This is the submission aftermath. She's realized that her storm couldn't blow your house down. She's tired of fighting you, and she wants to return to the safety of your frame. If you push her away because you're still mad, you're being petty. That's little boy energy. A real man accepts the surrender. You don't need an apology in words when you have an apology in her touch. By hugging you first after a fight, she's saying, "You won. Now hold me." If you can take her back in that moment with a firm, silent embrace, you've just solidified your position as the leader of the relationship. You don't need to win the argument. You already won the war. There is a fine line between a woman hugging you because she cares for you and a woman hugging you because she craves you. You need to know the difference. The motherly hug is soft, cautious, and usually involves a pat on the back. If you're getting the back pat, you're in the friend zone, buddy. But the lover hug, the one we're talking about, is deep, full-body contact. There is no back patting. There is only melting. If she's melting into you, she's inviting your masculine energy to overwhelm her feminine energy. She wants to feel the tension. She wants to feel that you could take control at any second. If you treat this like a friendly bro hug, you're killing the vibe. Treat it like a ritual. Treat it like you're the sun and she's a planet finally finding her orbit. Keep the tension high, keep the words low, and let the electricity do the work. Every woman carries the ghosts of the men who failed her. The ones who were weak, the ones who lied, the ones who couldn't hold a frame. When she hugs you first, she's comparing you to those ghosts. She's checking if you're different, if you're fidgeting, if you're looking at your phone, or if you're thinking about the next thing you're going to say. You're just another ghost in the making. But if you are 100% present, if you are in the moment so deeply that nothing else exists, she feels that. It's a high-value trait that is incredibly rare in the 2026 digital world. Most guys are distracted. A man who is present is a man who is powerful. Give her that gift. Let her realize that for the first time in her life, she is being held by a man who isn't somewhere else in his head. That's how you become unforgettable. Don't get too comfortable. Sometimes she hugs you first, holds you tight, and then snaps back and acts cold the next day. This is the rubber band effect. She got so close to you, felt so much submission and vulnerability, that she's now scared of how much power you have over her. She's pulling away to reclaim her independence. Most beta guys panic here. They start calling, texting, "Did I do something wrong?" Stop. You're killing the game. When she pulls back after a deep hug, you pull back too. Give her the space to miss your strength. Let her realize that your safe harbor is a privilege, not a right. If you chase her, you're the dog. If you stay put, you're the home. She'll be back, and when she comes back, the hug will be even deeper. At the end of the day, a woman hugging you first is the ultimate green light. It's her saying that the barriers are down. But remember, the hug is just the key. You still have to walk through the door. Don't let the moment go to waste by being a nice guy who's afraid to take the next step. Whether that's a deep conversation, a kiss, or just a stronger commitment to your shared goals, take the lead. You are the driver of this vehicle. She's given you the map by initiating that touch. Now you drive. Be the man who doesn't just understand female psychology, but the man who masters it. Because in a world full of lost boys, a man who knows why she's holding him is a man who will never be alone. When she finally pulls away and the physical connection breaks, that is the most dangerous moment of the entire interaction. Most men feel the emotional high and immediately try to fill the silence with words, jokes, or plans. They try to buy more of that feeling because they're addicted to the validation. Don't be that guy. When she steps back, look her straight in the eyes with a calm, unbothered intensity. Let the silence hang there like a heavy fog. You need to understand that by hugging you first, she has traveled 1,000 miles emotionally just to meet you in that moment. If you stay still, if you keep that stone-cold composure, you become the mystery she spends the rest of her night trying to solve. This isn't just about a hug. It's about whether you have the mental fortitude to be a king even when the crown is heavy. Whether you're an 18-year-old kid trying to find his way or a 60-year-old man reclaiming his throne, the truth remains. A woman will only stay with a man who is a world unto himself. She wants to be a part of your orbit, not the center of it. She hugged you first because she sensed a spark of that ancient masculine power. Don't let that spark go out by being ordinary. Be the man who doesn't just understand her psychology, but the man who respects his own enough to stay in control. The world is full of average Joes who are desperate for a woman's touch, and believe me, she can smell that desperation from a mile away. But you're different. You're watching this because you're done with the beta scripts and the nice guy failures. You're here to build a legacy. If this deep dive into the hidden layers of her mind gave you the edge you've been looking for, then you know what to do. This community is for the few, not the many. It's for the men who aren't afraid of the raw truth. Hit that subscribe button and lock in, because we're just getting started. Don't just watch these videos, internalize them. Carry this frame with you into the real world. Next time she reaches for you, don't just hold her, lead her. Become the unshakable mountain she's been searching for her entire life. This is your journey, your power, and your time. Stay focused, stay masculine, and above all, stay high value. We'll see you in the next one.